What is going on with Chance and Dunbar?
I have no clue, but I'm curious.
I am too.
I mean, why was the brother crying? Is there the chance bless him like he wanted to bless Philip last week? I don't know what's happening.
I don't know either, but I
We
suspect
will
we'll
find
find out.
out.
Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about OWN Network's reality-based TV series, Put a Ring on It, season number 3, episode number 2.
Before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Please click that notification button so you know when we upload new content. And please click that like button as well. We appreciate and are grateful for your support of this channel.
Sure enough.
So we say thank you.
Sure enough.
So
Yep.
here we go.
Yeah, Dr. Johnson is meeting with all three couples right at the beginning of the episode and finding out how the ladies fared on their dates.
Chance, as you know, had a date with Philip. She said that Philip is doesn't fool her eyes, so he will not be getting a second date.
Yeah, Chance was not very impressed with Philip because she seemed like she needed more of a mature kind of guy.
Catherine went out with Mark, the jokester. He was a funny dude. While she thought he was funny and they had a lot in common, she decided that she would not be going out with Mark again.
Mark did bring her flowers, though, and the
No, they
conversation
didn't.
was good, don't you think?
And she claimed that she put the flowers in a vase and put it over on Ricky's side of the bed
As a reminder.
as a reminder.
Oh, snap.
Lord have mercy.
Ricky better get a clue, man. And finally, we have, was it Joya
Joya
and
and
Kyle?
Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Joya thought that Kyle was too much, too extra. So
A little
she,
overconfident, shall we say?
yeah, and she decided that it's gonna be a no for her.
Right. Even though she was impressed with the fact that Kyle had kids, only one of which was his own.
Yeah, but you know it's the show. They gotta say some stuff and pretend that some things. But she wasn't feeling Kyle. We all know that.
She was on the other foot now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And the first one up is gonna be
Jason.
Jasha.
Hmm.
Is that his name?
Jason. Yeah.
Because you know I butcher names.
Yeah.
Jasha.
Fred, you got it right.
Appreciate you, my
Okay.
brother. Jasha is preparing for his date and
Celine.
with Celine.
And Joya was kind of nervous, shall we say.
Yeah, well, I expect any woman would, but Joya made no boundary requirements for
Said she was going
Jasha.
to trust the process
Right,
and
and
that
she
she was going to
trusts
rely.
him.
Was she sipping on a little something, something to calm her nerves
Yeah,
down?
yeah,
As
yeah. She chugged a glass of wine. It looked like
sure.
liquid
How
courage.
about gulp?
Always works. Celine is a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
had on one of these whole new dress,
Okay. Mhm.
um, and she looked beautiful, and
Yeah,
she
she
had a
was
peaceful aura about her. Before they left, Jasha was saging himself in the house prior to going out. So I guess he's into chakras and meditation and the Zen kind of quality of life.
Mhm.
And incidentally, when they were at the restaurant eating, they started a conversation and they were talking about his travels to Thailand. She said that that's on her bucket list, so to speak. And he asked her whether she meditated,
Mhm.
and it was a yes. If she knew about chakras, it was
Uh-huh.
a yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, didn't they converse a little bit in Espanol?
Yes,
Mhm.
and at the end of it in the confessional, he said that she's a beautiful girl and he
Which she
enjoyed the
is,
date.
and they had a very nice date. It was a beautiful time.
Yes.
You know, at least on camera, as a viewer, that's what I perceived about their initial meeting.
Yeah. And one thing Jasher asked Celine is whether she had any kids, whether she had boyfriends or what have you. She said she was dating and enjoying herself. Then he went further. He asked her about kids, and she said it's not a situation for her. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But right now, she's dating and having fun.
Right,
At
and
least I think that's what she
I
said.
think so too, and I also remember and or recall. Turns out that there's a 10-year difference
Yeah.
between the two, and I think just based on my own feelings about that age difference, that there would be a future problem with that if that were.
You think so?
I
Even
think
though they have that same meditation kind of vibe going on? Because
I
it's a different vibe altogether. You take life as it comes differently.
yeah, I understand, but I just tend to think, and it's not to say that it couldn't work out successfully. I just think that that age difference may be a little bit much.
Okay.
So next up on the date ledger was Ricky
Yes, brother Ricky was excited about his date
with
with
Sheila.
Sheila. We were introduced to Ricky and his family, and we got a little more information on brother Rick. He lives with his family. His brother and sister were on the couch waiting to observe the date coming through the door.
Why don't you just say it like it really was? They wanted to be nosy. They wanted to check out firsthand who he's stepping out with,
And Catherine said that quite a few people live in the house.
yeah, including Ricky's parents.
And my first thought was, and one thing she said is that when they have arguments, the people who are in the house feel free to interject themselves in the argument.
Oh, hell no.
And
Everybody,
I wondered why she was there. Why did she move in with him? And why is he living at his parents' home?
there's something
You know.
about having your own space that is just
But in any event,
Sheila.
beautiful sister Sheila, she strolled on up. She had red. Sheila was a very attractive lady. When she came through the door, Catherine saw her, and Sheila was dressed up as if she's going out to the club. Catherine was
Hmm.
sweet. Ricky was eyeballing Sheila from head to toe, and I'm saying I thought that was like a little foul because at least he could just look at her like, hey, it's a beautiful woman, and we going out. But the way he was eyeballing her, it was a little creepy and disrespectful to me in the presence of Catherine.
Yeah.
That was uncalled for.
And I thought something else that was a little disrespectful that happened later on in the date was the course of the conversation that they had when they sat down at the restaurant and started to get to know one another.
Yeah, she took him to a Caribbean restaurant, and all of a sudden Ricky started telling her personal information about his situation with Catherine, which to me is out of
Oh,
bounds.
hell no. Wrong move, bruh.
And of course asking her what she would have done. And one of the situations he brought up is that he has a child with his ex, and he said that his ex has to work at night and they need babysitting for his child,
Okay,
and
child care issues.
he has to go over to her house, and he sleeps on the couch to baby in order to babysit the child. Now I don't know about you, but I don't think I could roll with that situation at all. That would be a non-starter for me.
I'm not even there at that point yet. Don't even believe that he was necessarily telling the truth when he said he slept on the couch.
Okay, well, thank you, brother.
I'm just saying.
I'm just grateful that you're here and you could say that for me.
Oh yeah, I'll sell it. I'll say it. I'll say it. But I'm not
Because
trying to call a brother a liar either. I'm just saying that what he said was not, shall we say, credible.
one thing Ricky said, which I started smelling that funk in a real
Mhm,
way,
mhm.
is when Ricky said that he's one way with Catherine and another way when she's not around.
So in other words, he's a salesman
Well,
who can change at any given time. He's a chameleon. Is that what he is?
well, that doesn't make that can't make Catherine feel warm and cozy. So we
Yeah,
shall
and
see.
there may be some maturity issues with him as well.
Yes.
So if I'm Sheila walking into this and I find out that kind of information on the first date, I don't want a second date. If I'm her,
Next up,
Dunbar.
Dunbar. Dunbar was getting dressed in the bathroom and he was praying. He seems like he was nervous to me.
Yeah, and he knew that Chance, his lady, was nervous and anxious as well. So I guess That's part of what he does as a routine to calm himself when he goes, into maybe situations that are a little different, shall we say.
Yeah, and last week I said that, the therapist was foul how she came at them because I didn't think, based on what I saw, that Chance was a shrinking violet.
She's not.
And clearly she's not,
Mhm.
because the same energy Dunbar had last week with Philip, Chance sort of give the
Yeah,
same energy with Crystal
that
like Dunbar had
had
with
Philip.
Philip. Had the same energy with Crystal, just like Dunbar had with Philip
Yes.
when Chance went out with Philip last week.
Yes.
He sat down on Dunbar and started asking questions. She was marking her territory, and then she got up and said, "Okay, I'm good.
Sizing her up
Just be back at the
before,
spot before the lights were."
right. And don't do
And
nothing.
she was clowning because the date arrived at night. So,
She was half serious though too,
yeah,
I think. And
yeah. Before the date got there, she told him, "Don't betray me, else I'll cut you."
I'll cut you. You be
And
acting a fool out in them streets.
she
I'll
said,
cut you.
"You can laugh, but I'm serious." So, that'll make any man a little afraid.
Don't test us, sister. Don't do it.
So, they get to the restaurant, him and Crystal. Crystal is a beautiful girl.
Yes.
I thought she dressed in a sort of old-fashioned kind of way.
Mhm.
Um, it just made her look
And did
older
she?
and matronly.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird combination because
The weave will be so long, and the
the tail came
clothes,
down to her waist,
yeah,
but
and the clothing was matronly. I
yeah,
couldn't get the vibe. And then when she sat down, she told him that she was in ministry.
hmm,
She is in youth ministry, right?
yes, yes,
And Dunbar said he was in ministry as well.
hmm,
And she said she wants to be a submissive wife.
hmm,
And he perked up because that's what he said he's looking for.
yes, indeed,
They were chit-chatting about the power between a man and a woman, and she wants to be submissive and do all the things that Dunbar said that Chance is not doing for him at the house. At the end of it, Dunbar said surprisingly that was one of the best dates he's ever been on.
from what we saw, it was a pleasant, nice,
Yeah.
enjoyable date.
And he said as much. He liked it. He liked her,
Mhm,
and he said he got a lot of positive energy from.
mhm. Yeah, and that was interesting because he said uh, prior to his meeting with Crystal that one of the reasons why he was going out with these ladies was to kind of gather information from them about
How to deal
how to
with,
deal with women so that it would make him a better man, to Chance.
right, because he seemed to be very intentional about why he
Yes,
signed up for
indeed.
this show.
Yep, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's
No,
very good.
no, no.
Mhm,
It's always good for a man to know how to treat his lady better,
mhm,
in my mind,
mhm.
anyway.
Yeah.
So we see Dr. Johnson doing a home visit,
Mhm,
and she goes to Chance and Dunbar first
mhm,
to talk about what is the issue between them, because she doesn't know what the issue is.
mhm.
They present a united front and she can't figure out what is going on.
Yes.
So they immediately start about a rift that they have had. Evidently, Chance likes to go to her father for advice. She still
Yeah,
does.
and Dunbar thinks that, "Hey, look, I'm here, I'm trying to be all that you need and want. So why is it that you go to your father first versus coming to me first?"
Yeah, and he said how that made him feel as
Exactly.
well.
It made him feel, I guess, for lack of a better expression, inadequate,
Hmm.
and it didn't make him feel secure about their relationship
Right.
because seemingly that's something that she does consistently, and he doesn't understand why.
There may be some trust
Issues,
issues
yeah.
going on.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. He's not competing against his father.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. think that's
you
too
know.
far stretch for him
Right,
either.
right.
They're sitting on the couch and they had or Chance and Dunbar had a minor intense argument about he said, she said. He said that she doesn't include him in stuff. Evidently, she wrote a book or something like that,
Okay.
and she said no, that's not the way it is, and her voice was very sharp. And he quieted down because she was sort of rattled up. And the doctor said, "Well, what is happening? Which story is true?" And
Mm-hmm.
said, "Maybe I could glean the truth by speaking to you guys separately." She's talking to him, and all of a sudden, it looks like
He just wells up. Yeah.
wells up as if he's ready to
Shook.
cry.
Yeah, he's shook.
And I'm wondering, okay,
What triggered that?
what is going
Yeah,
on?
what triggered that? I don't understand. I don't know where that came from. And maybe that exchange, along with some other things that had happened prior to that exchange, kind of led him to a place where that was how he felt. You know, he had to react. It was something that kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, it caught me off guard as well. So more will be revealed. We want to thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful day, and I hope you guys get to do something fun this weekend.
absolutely.
Have a good one.
See y'all next time.
Bye bye.